Hello viewers, it's Super GT here and welcome to another Forza 6 demo video. So this is the Rivals event in the Ferrari 430S around the Abu Dhabi circuit. So I'm going to go through a few points which will hopefully make you a little bit quicker on this event, and some of these points will carry over to other events. So my first point here is the curbs. You've got to be very careful on the curbs. Especially when accelerating and turning at full lock, so that's where you're going to spin out if you do those things. So of course be very careful on the curbs, and that includes these curbs here. They have like a rumble effect on them as well, so they're not actually perfectly flat, so you have to watch out for those curbs as well. So coming around this corner, you're going to see here I'm going to go over the curb. Obviously I'm going to be very careful, but this shows that the track limit isn't always on the exact edge of the track. Sometimes you can go beyond. So coming through into turn 4 now. My braking point for this corner is just before the 100 meter marker board on the right hand side there, just before the red curb starts. I'm going to go down into second gear for this corner, and we come into the hairpin, and this is where my next point is going to be. So going through here, I like to keep it in second gear, as you can see there. The reason for that is if I go down into first, it unsettles the car firstly, and on the exit you just get too much wheel spin. So sometimes it's easier, if you're on manual, to keep it in second gear. If you have traction control, then you won't really have that problem. Or if you're playing on automatic, again you won't have that problem. But for those of us playing on with traction control off and on manual, I would advise keep it in second gear. It's coming into the chicane, 200 meters before the corner is where I like to brake, and that's a safe braking point. I get hooked up with the apex here quite nicely, maybe with a little bit to spare. And coming out of this corner onto the second straight here, you can keep two wheels over the white line and you won't get an invalid lap. So that actually shortens the lap by, this is a left-hand corner here, so you can keep two wheels over the edge of the track, and you can actually shorten the distance you're travelling by doing that. So coming into the chicane here at the end of the straight, my braking point here is between the 200 and 150 meters, so about 175. So between these two boards here, which are over to the right-hand side of the track, they're quite hard to spot, but if you can see them, I brake about halfway between, which is actually quite conservative, could probably brake a bit later. On the next point here, the adverse camber, the track leans away from you here, so you're turning left and the track is sloping down to the right, so be careful here, the car will go light on you and will steer away. And that applies to this corner here. It's still slanted, so the car won't turn in as quickly as you would like, so again watch out for that as you turn in. Now coming into the hotel section, I'll probably turn in a little bit too early here, so there's room to spare. I brake quite early just to make sure that I get into the corner nicely. And again, whenever you're going over the curves, be very careful on the throttle and the steering. So coming through underneath the hotel, over the left hand, over the curves, very careful to accelerate very lightly. Push the track limits as much as you can there, up to the wall, but obviously don't hit the wall. And coming through the penultimate corner, again be very careful on these curbs as you turn in, they can unsettle the car. And coming through, hit the apex nicely. On the exit, if you're unsure about the track limits, just always try and keep two wheels on the track inside the white line if you're unsure. And as we approach the finish, always travel in a straight line towards the finish if you're trying to set a quick lap, because this is the shortest distance. So as we go straight towards the finish line, that's a 2 minutes 25.4, and we're going to go to the leaderboards here, and that is a very quick lap time actually. So well inside the top 1% there, and there was a lot of room for improvement in fact on that lap. That's 115th in the world, and I probably could get in the top 100 if I did a couple of more laps. That was my, I don't know, about second lap that I tried, and that's what I achieved there. So hopefully these 12 little pointers will help you around this track. The main thing for me is the curbs. There's so many curbs that you can go over, but you just have to be very careful with the way that you treat the throttle, because this car seems to oversteer quite a lot. It's quite a ferocious car on the throttle, so you just have to be very careful, especially over the curbs. Now, if you have any other questions for me, then make sure you post them down below and I'll try to answer you. So remember guys, if you did like the video, then hit the like button down below and subscribe for more Forza tunes, guides and gameplay in the future. So I hope you have enjoyed the video guys. I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.